Epiphany. Them old Romans was not very nice. Just to get Christ, they killed Herod, all the babies around Bethlehem, the house of bread, where Herod, the big cheese, Roman cheese, thought Christ might be. God's the boss. So, in a dream he appeared to Joseph, and there we are, and off they went to Egypt until Herod died. God's the boss. There's no discussion or argument about this. You either accept it or you don't. All the stuff's kicking off in the world at the moment. America, Mr. Trump fellow, the President of the United States of America, who apparently, in an assessment of psychological profile or whatever, with Hitler, a comparison or a... he beats Hitler, you know, hands down. He's more what's it than Hitler was. Brilliant. But they voted him into power. You get the leaders you deserve. Apparently he was speaking to an audience of evangelical Christians, justifying this act of... And the BBC has been zoning in and out of this. I'm quite interested, actually. Sometimes they call it a killing, but they seem to be settling on assassination of the sort of number 2 big cheese in Persia, Iran. They're calling it assassination, the BBC, which is a very different word to, you know, collateral damage. All sorts of repercussions. I can't help myself. I take an interest. I listen to the news and the analysis of it. Bring it on. The 2 words are Medusa and Armageddon. Medusa apparently had 11 snakes as hair, and if you cut one off, lo and behold, there were 11 more. This is Greek mythology. Well before Christ, any vaguely educated person knows about this. If you assassinate a foreign political leader, you create a martyr, a cause for that foreign political leader's people about which to rally. English is going a bit wobbly there. I mean, it's just so... Duke Ferdinand, I think, was assassinated, and that was the tinder spark that sparked off the First World War. An Austrian duke, I think. Yes, America's got huge military might, but you can't basically just... If you live by the sword, you'll die by the sword. That's it. That's the Americans. now. God's the boss. This is all foretold, foreseen. Isaiah so beautifully prophesies the coming of Christ 700 years before Christ came. As a general rule of thumb, I very often don't know what I'm going to do in the very day I'm in, let alone the afternoon of the same day. I might do this or I might do that. It all depends. John, as in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, the Gospel of John, the disciple whom Christ loved as a man, went to the island of Patmos and, inspired through the Holy Spirit, came the book of Revelation, which is difficult reading in the New Testament, the last book of the New Testament. Armageddon is mentioned in the Old Testament several times. Once, chapter 16 in Revelation, Armageddon, Megiddo. It's actually a flat, it's on a crossroads or something, so it was an important place. But Armageddon is a concept. It's not specifically that place in the Holy Land, Israel. Bring it on. You know, if evangelical Christians in America think that Christ said every single hair on the head of your fellow man, woman, child, everyone, is precious and special. If they strike you on one cheek, turn unto them the other cheek. He was absolutely clear about no violence, only love. Yes, a very strong, powerful love. There's no other way out. We, mankind, are heading for Armageddon. It's obvious to me. Sooner or later. Appears to be sooner at the moment. There's light in my house.